So I was just sitting here minding my business, right? Well, I guess I'm not because I'm in other people's business, right? Anyway, I've seen a plethora of videos recently where people are basically telling their story about how they kind of feel like they were conned into quitting their jobs to make YouTube channels and stuff, right? Now, I also have been seeing people pop up on my page, on my homepage, talking about these people, Dante London and Dodash, right? So, I watched a couple things and whatever. And so, if you're familiar with any of that type of stuff, then you already know what I'm going to talk about, but not really talk about it like that. If you're unfamiliar with these people, Dante London and DoorDash, Dante London is a guy that basically does the type of content where these people are like, I'm on Section 8, that type of content. I don't watch that stuff, so I think that it kind of popped up because the person that did it was commentary. I think his channel is Barbecue Mic Drop, something like that. I probably won't put it down below, but I said it. So there's that. I just want to quickly upload this. But the DoorDash girl, apparently she was somebody that was doing DoorDash type of stuff. And then she made one of those videos like, YouTube changed my life, whatever. All right. So why do I have a thought, right? Why do I have an opinion about this, okay? Why do I care? Because I actually did make a video in 2015, and it is on this page, and I said, be your own brand 2015. And in that video, I was driving to work. I had worked a really nice banking corporate job in La Jolla, California. So it was really nice. And I had really just decided that day, that was it. Like, I don't care. Like, it's very evident that I have had good job opportunities. But that day, I was like, I have to do something else. I have to do something completely different if I know that I want to do this forever, And along the way, and even with the whole Tabitha Brown situation where her talking about people have to, basically get a job to supplement or complement their goals or their dreams in life, right? I agree with that. I don't like the messenger. I like the message, because that was the same mindset that I had. I basically took a stop and evaluated what I wanted to do involving like YouTube and just everything involving that, right? And at that time in my life, I was really into music. What I always wanted to do anyway, since I was like in middle school, is I wanted to be a magazine editor. I loved Vibe magazine. I wanted to be editor-in-chief. I love that. So I was really into music, not product reviews, but music reviews, tons of stuff like that. That's what I was mainly doing here on YouTube, was music reviews. I think I'm unprivated. A lot of my videos, all my videos basically I unprivated, because I just feel like it's necessary to really honestly go through my own content and help people. But I'm saying this to say that was the day that I decided that I really do want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I know in my heart, it's my passion, this is my everything, right? And so it took a couple years from that day when I made that video, where I saw things pick up, where I saw things move, or where I honestly, that day, I did really take social media more seriously. I think that was the day, honestly, that I made my Instagram. And I have a video on here, how did I become Instagram famous? Because that basically was like, me and the homegirl was like, hey, let's make new pages, let's see what's popping. So that I literally did exactly what I said. So, but the point of what I'm saying is, even though that was so long ago, I still found myself at a time in 2017 where I wanted to do more YouTube, and I was mainly on Instagram. Was cool even back then in 2015. I was getting brand deals, I was doing my thing, but I wanted to do YouTube. Like, that's what I really wanted to do, the long form, the talking, like this type of stuff. That's where my heart really was. So 2017 I believe, I moved to Arizona, and I had got a job. My very last job was in 2017, and I was working at GM Financial in Arizona, right? I'm talking amazing benefits. I'm talking they feed you a whole cafe down there. You can eat anytime you want. You get like 5 credits, like card credit type thing, so that people, like friends and family, basically can get a MSRP discount, like no extra stuff, like that's the price, that's it, like that whole type of thing. Like, it was amazing ass benefits, bro. Like, it was some good stuff for real. I was doing collections 2. I believe I had already done collections 3 before I had a previous job, auto collections. So I was doing auto collections tier 2, and I think I was getting like $17 an hour. It was fire. It was cool. The schedule was crazy. One of those like swing type of weird type of things. But other than that, it wasn't a job that I should have really left. Like there wasn't really a real reason for me to leave that job and then like still want to do content creation. Like there was nothing that really said like, okay, like you should, until this one day. And mind you, I'm at this job for probably like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks at this point, maybe. I'm not sure how long the training was, I forgot. But at this point, I'm at the job for a little bit, you know, and we're all at our, you know, station, stuff like that. You start talking to people. So that's where I messed up. And not that I messed up, but that's what happened. So maybe someone can relate on this aspect. Now, I told somebody that I have an Instagram. I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm on Instagram. This was 2017, so it wasn't really crazy for somebody to be like, let me follow you on Instagram. Like, you work with your coworkers, they follow you on Instagram. It kind of happens today, right? But like, you probably shouldn't, you know? But it was like, whatever. So they saw my Instagram, and they're like, oh, you have such and such, I don't know, maybe I have like 27,000. I don't know. I had like 22,000. I have no idea. But I had over 20,000. And they were like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you here? Why are you not like making more money online? Like, what are you doing? And so I was like, well, I didn't think about it like that, because Instagram was never the goal. It was really honestly YouTube. Like I said, I have the whole video on here. But Instagram was never really the goal. So I didn't really understand what to do with Instagram. And I kind of still don't, to be honest. Not that I don't, it's just that the platform itself, I don't really like Instagram anymore compared to 2017, 2018, when it was like, it was popping in 2015. It was popping, man. Anyway, but so the goal was never really Instagram, it was always YouTube. So, but with that, I was like, all right, you know, F it. Like, I'm tripping, you know what I mean? And not that I'm tripping, but like, I had this goal a long time ago, and I was firm on it. And I was firm on it. And I have tons of story times and things like that in between the time of me doing this video I'm talking about and this GM financial job. So like, there are a couple of things in between there. Like I have story times and stuff already up. But yeah. So when I did the GM financial, the person was like, you know, what you doing? I was like, all right, F it. So I was like, F it. Why? Because I was in a position to, like, yes, I had just left California and I like moved to Arizona, and I was just like, you know, let me start all over, whatever. And I did have a fun job. I had a night job. I was a cash picker-upper type person at a strip club. I did not dance. You know, they throw the money. I put the money in the bag for the girls. I hype the guys up so that they, you know, tip my favorite stripper, and she gives me a tip at the end of the night, that type of thing. So yeah, so I was doing that in Arizona, and that really helped to like build up my Instagram more. So you can imagine the audience, but that's whatever. Shout out to y'all. But it was like, you can't just do stuff. Even though I was in a position to where I could, like, living wise, like living in a home, I had help because I was with my mom, but I wouldn't have been able to really sit down and focus on YouTube. And I always tell people this, and even in my videos, if it wasn't for meeting my husband, it took somebody to see how much passion I really had in it to remind me of my video from 2015 that you can literally go see right now, and I will link it. I'm hollering, I'm screaming, I am yelling with so much passion in my heart and in my soul about doing this, because I just really want to do it. I love it so much, and I still act like that to this day. It's been 10 years and I still literally act that same way about content creation. You would think that I just started. You would think that I don't know what I'm doing. You would think all these things, but if you see that video, you will realize why I care so much, why I love this stuff so much. Okay, like, I think it's in your best interest, if you have came this far in this video, to definitely make sure you watch that video, because it is just like, it might be intense, but that's the point that I'm trying to make in my video. Is I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm just saying that you always have to remember why you were doing something in the first place. And luckily for me, I have proof. My whole channel is proof of me always wanting to do this because I wanted to do it. And that's the number one thing that I'm hearing with a lot of these stories, is that you all saw somebody else's success and you said, I want that for myself. You didn't do this with a mindset of, what can I give people? What value do I have to give to somebody else where they can take this and it can improve their life in some way, shape, or form? My own life situations and struggles, and even not even really struggles, but the things that I put myself in and had to overcome, are the things that will and have helped a lot of people, a lot of young girls, even now. That's why I do feel the need to really go back into my own content and react to my own stuff, because that's the problem. You have a lot of people out here with these commentary channels and just trying to always put something in your face that you never asked for. You're yearning for something that actually matters, something of substance, something to hold on to. And that's the problem. A lot of these people are now deciding to dip off. And they're saying like, well, I'm done, or I shouldn't have did this, or I'm going back to a regular job. You never had to not. You know what I mean? You always had the ability to do both. No one told you to just do one thing. It is you that decide, but it's you that also puts yourself in these positions where everything around you will crumble because you're putting all your eggs in one basket. I didn't put all my eggs in one basket. I understood the platform that I had already grew based off of me working a fun job. So I already knew what I could do with Instagram by that point. That could make me be able to say, okay, I'm not monetized on YouTube, but let me do whatever I can and let me just do my thing and get monetized on YouTube. Wasn't a big deal, and it did take me over a year to get monetized. Ben hit the numbers. Like, Ben hit the numbers. I had did 80K on a live on Instagram, and then maybe like a month later of me actually doing YouTube content, I hit like my first million views. Like, I remember that, like, the million views and stuff started coming in quickly. I didn't get monetized though until like 8-9 months, almost a year later. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot, you know, and that's what people are not prepared for. But even so, I do see people coming on with the same type of content or somebody else's blueprint, and you can't tell somebody to do something that they were never trying to do in the first place. And I learned that. I know that, but I really learned it as far as other people when I entered the UGC world and was trying to help creators in UGC, like literally transform to YouTube into long form content. That's when I realized, if you never wanted to do something to begin with, it's going to be hard for you to continue to do it or even take it seriously when you start to do it. And that's the problem. So I really wanted this 10 years ago, and 7 years ago, 8 years ago at this point, I was able to do it completely full-time. Like, that's it. I'm never going back to work. I'm going to make sure I do this forever. And I've been doing it since 2017. Since that day that person was like, why are you here? I realized, like, wait a minute. Like, what did I just do all that? What did I just do half of the things that I did for on it? Like, what can I do with this? And that too, it's not all about, the people can only do so much, and it's not their responsibility to make sure that your life is good because you want to pick up a camera. They can too. Like, you're not that special. And I understood that. So I took it upon myself to learn other things so that I can do this forever, because that's the point. So I just wanted to come on here and share my story because I thought that it would help somebody. I have proof of my story, and my entire channel now, I'm really honestly on my channel doing what I want to do because I can. You know, I personally have earned that right. I have publicly and out loud rebranded multiple times. I've niched down. I became family friendly. I've privated videos. I've done so many things to the point where, like, I had to stop and I had to be like, I'm not like y'all, because I always wanted to do this. So I can't keep listening to all these things. These people, they talk too much. TikTok talks too much, and then the YouTubers get paid, or you're not even get paid, but you guys are out here getting these AdSense to bring that crap over here. And I'm starting to realize that that's not the mindset over here. On YouTube, it's your tube, it's your channel. So it's really weird. And I just wanted to let people know, I'm sorry it didn't work out for you, but it never was going to. It wasn't something you wanted to do. The one dude talking about he was a nurse, and then his most popular video is him saying, I quit my job as a nurse to become a YouTuber. That type of stuff, bro, you're a nurse. You could have came on here and you could have told people about being a nurse, and you could have talked about that. It's just like, you only have your individuality, and that's just being yourself. When you say that you don't want to do that anymore, but that's enough, that's when you lose yourself. Look at my channel. I have these spurts that I go through. because I can, because it's natural, because it's life. But these people are afraid to show you who they are from the beginning, so it's never going to work out. And that's all I want to say, is that everybody needs to go back to their sectors, and that will be a different video. But everybody needs to just realize that it's okay to admit defeat, and not even defeat like that. It's just okay to say that didn't work out for me. And that's all, Stop having this mindset that there are people to impress or that people care, because nobody cares. That's why you're in this position right now. But nobody ever cared. That's the whole point. So once you realize that, then you'll be fine, and you won't take things so you know what I mean? Reset, pivot, do your thing. But it's not for everybody. It's just not. And if it wasn't for you, if you never woke up and you really in your heart was like, yeah, I love content creation, I love connecting with people, I love doing this and that. If you said, man, that's a lot of money. Man, that's a lot of money just off of AdSense. So there's that. But whatever. If that's what your mindset is, and then you decide to pick up a camera and make a YouTube channel, that's not going to work out, especially if you're not at least doing some product reviews. I'm just going to be honest. The easiest things that you can do on here is show people how to cook and do some product reviews. Show people why they should or shouldn't do something. That's really it. Show people how to do something. It's not really that hard. What becomes hard is when you guys think that people care about you. Trust me, they don't care about you. They're really here for something. And that's why I learned that. What do people want? What are they there for? Never ask your audience what they want to see. Never put them in control. I'm sorry. Just don't. For your own safety as a creator, to avoid burnout. Anyway, I'm sure this is very long, but I just really felt it necessary. It was on my heart to just let people know that it's okay to realize that, no, you didn't waste time, but you never really wanted to do it to begin with. So, chill out and just go and do what you want to do. It's really not that hard. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you subscribe, because I'll be chilling. I'll be minding my business, but I don't want to mind my business anymore. So, yeah, love you all so much. God bless.